happened. The United States government, under President Bush, under the Millennium Challenge account, chose Namibia as one of those countries which can benefit from that. And I must say we are very grateful. We got about close to $300 million as a grant. And that is also where the foreign companies can come in, because that provides for international tender. So any company from any part of the world can tender to develop infrastructure, because of the infrastructure, tourism, and so on. But the tenders are international, so that's open to anybody. For the environmental degradation, that's a serious problem. First, it's good, unlike in the past, that the companies which are coming now have, even if they are multinationals, have human face. If you talk to us, they come together. So in the past, we will see companies coming, digging holes. When the oil is finished, they pack and go. You will see those holes still standing there. Our constitution, one of the constitution, which is talking about environmental protection. So we like the companies to leave the land as they found it, if it is possible. That's it. Now, social responsibility. Many companies, I must say, who come to Namibia have that. Many of them build schools, they have community centers, they have projects for ladies to do needlework and so on, like Rosin Uranium has done. Some even actually create new towns to sprung up, like Rosin has done. And we now cement companies going to do the same with a small town of Tabi, social responsibility starting there. Then you have also Ariba going to do the same. So it's a question of kind of connection between the government and the companies. If you have good rapport, you talk as colleagues who are in the same business, and that's now the way African countries are doing it. That is, companies are coming, knowing our problems, we discuss it together, so we can try to solve it together. They benefit by being there, we must also benefit.
Thank you, Minister. Do we have any questions from the audience? Yes, sir.
Thank you for the floor. Mine is not the question. I'm part of the Namibian delegation.
Welcome.
I'm privileged to head a bank of the government known as the Agricultural Bank of Namibia. I wanted to expand more a little bit on our presentation as a country, just introducing two banks that are wholly owned by the government, that are tasked with the responsibility of lending money to the Namibians to expand development. These are banks that we are also saying are available to team up with any investors who would come to invest in Namibia. These two banks are the Agricultural Bank of Namibia, which is preliminarily tasked to advance money to persons or intermediaries that are fully involved in agricultural activities. The second bank is the Development Bank of Namibia, that provide financing to small and medium enterprise, also to say industries. So in terms of investment, as you choose to invest in Namibia, you can actually think of taking this or one of these banks as your partners. As it was said earlier on, we are also saying that the financial system in Namibia is quite sound. We have a stable foreign exchange, and as a matter of fact, you have access to foreign exchange. We've got 4 commercial banks, and these 4 commercial banks are operating in an environment that's so conducive to any investors in the country. They are certainly controlled by our central bank, the Bank of Namibia, that regulates the activities of these banks. And truly, we all know that our days as human beings cannot be concluded without any meat on the table, and that is agriculture. We have to invest in agriculture to make their life better for the humankind. And as a country, we have a couple of opportunities that are available, some of them that have been mentioned. The agriculture, we are looking at expanding that sector. It has been developed, it has been tested. That's very viable. And it's one that, as a matter of fact, can give you as an investor a higher return. We also want to expose you to what we call agritourism. Agritourism, mainly we are talking about farming with animals, game farming, or trophy hunting. And of most important, we wish to add value to our products. And therefore, I invite investors to invest in food processing. In Namibia, we have a lot of raw material in this sector that would want to be processed within the country instead of exporting them. Talk about fruit and vegetable, and the green scheme has been presented to here by our director from Investment Center. That's an area that we want to expand. We have a lot of fruits, we can grow them as well. In fact, we are talking about the land, so we would want to invite investors to look in this area. So to say, we have enough to offer in terms of investment as far as agriculture is concerned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. A follow-up question with regards to the role that your bank is playing. The economic model, you put in a certain percentage of the debt once someone brings in a certain percentage of the equity. Is it 10%, is it 20%, or do you take the lead in the investment? Give us a sense of how practically the role that your bank plays with a foreign equity investor coming in.
Well, thank you very much. For now, our operation as a bank, a commercial bank, is by our own. We raise funds from the market. We raise funds from other financial institutions such as the African Development Bank. But we will welcome any other investor that would wish to place their money with us. That we can make.
Is your bank 100% owned by the government at the moment?
It's 100% owned by the government.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Is there one more question from the audience? We'll take one last one. Yes. Or comment.
Yeah. Just a comment in response to some of the issues you raised. A supplement. Basically, you wanted to know more also in terms of the joint venture or the investment level or investment opportunity in health. Here you can also look at the pharmaceutical through procurement. In fact, the government of Namibia spent a lot of money in the pharmaceutical product by procuring a pharmaceutical product on a yearly basis. But there is an opportunity for any business people to be able to enter into that. It can be a PPP or public-private partnership. That's one of them. The other thing is that the colleague talked about dates. We can go further to produce the juice. I saw here people are drinking their juice from dates. It's an opportunity. And then you can also talk about grapes. In grapes, you can also make grapes and you can make jams. That's one.
I think we're going to have a taste test because there's some pretty good grapes in the United Arab Emirates and in the GCC. So we'd have to sort of do a taste test to see what is actually what the difference between the Namibian grape and date.
In fact, the taste is from Namibia. They're importing it from Namibia. The colleague represented.
Oh, is that what happened? Oh, I see.
Okay. And then the other thing is that the springboard, we position ourselves as a springboard to serve as the region. One of the SACU, we belong to the SACU country membership. With South Africa, Botswana, Lesotho, Swaziland, a common market of 50, and we have external common market. Whether you go via Durban or via Walvis Bay, we have one common external market. So through that and SADC, then you're well positioned.
Thank you. I think that ends our time on Namibia. If there are additional questions, our guests are here for quite a bit longer, so please engage them. There's been a slight change in the order of the country presentations. It's my understanding that we're going to do Malaysia next. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's take a very quick transition as our guests from Malaysia get ready for their country presentation. Thank you, Namibia. Thank you, Minister. The Congress said someone may steal from it at night, so they created a night watchman and hired a person, a night watchman position, and hired a person for the job. Then someone from Congress said, but how does the night watchman do his job without instruction? So they created a planning department and hired 2 people, 1 person to write the instructions and 1 person to do the time studies. Then someone from Congress said, how will we know the night watchman is doing the tasks correctly? So they created a quality control department and hired 2 people, 1 to do the studies and 1 to write the reports. Then someone from Congress said, well, how are all these people going to get paid? So they created the following positions: a timekeeper, a payroll officer, and then they hired 2 people to fill the positions. Then finally Congress said, well, who will be accountable for all of these people? So they created an administrative section and hired 3 people: an administrative officer, an assistant administrative officer, a legal secretary. And then, one guy said from Congress, well, we have had this command in operation for 1 year now, and we're $18,000 over budget. We must cut back overall costs. So they laid off the night watchman. That's not a way to attract foreign investors. And I am sure both our friends from Cyprus and the other countries know that at least you don't fire the only guy that's doing any real work. We're fortunate to have Cyprus with us. Marios Genoussis is the Senior Investment Promotion Officer of CIPA, the Cyprus Investment Promotion Agency. I'd like to leave with a joke after lunch just to make sure that people are awake and don't nod off. But he is insightful. He knows Cyprus. He's well prepared. We will spend about 15 to 20 minutes with a presentation that he's put together, and then I'll open it up for questions and answers. So without further ado, Marios Genoussis.
Thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you for being here to listen to what we have to say about Cyprus. I would like to take the opportunity to thank the government and the Ministry of Foreign Trade for the invitation to be here. Okay. Since it's after lunch, we are going to start with a small film about Cyprus, which is only 3 minutes long, and then we'll go into the remaining of the presentation. So can we have the film, please?
Cyprus, an ideal holiday destination and a formidable environment to invest with confidence. Cyprus, a European Union member at the crossroads of 3 continents, is the ideal business hub, connecting Europe with Africa, Asia and the Middle East. Cyprus has 2 new international airports, a modern highway network, and multi-purpose port facilities.
We chose Cyprus because of its geographical location. We're very close to key energy markets in Europe, the Middle East and North Africa. Secondly, being able to operate in a free zone means we're very tax efficient. And lastly, but most importantly, we saw that there was a real human resource opportunity here.
Cyprus has a transparent legal and regulatory framework, which has evolved from common law and is harmonised with European Union legal framework. Cyprus provides a resilient market economy, the lowest corporate tax regime in the EU at 10%, combined with a range of double tax treaties with more than 40 countries worldwide. Excellent telecommunications and infrastructure, and above all, a well-educated, dynamic and entrepreneurial talent pool. Highly qualified and well-trained professionals provide expertise on all aspects of legal, accounting and business services. A well-developed banking sector caters to a wide variety of financial needs for both corporations and individuals.
There's no doubt in my mind that Cyprus has now firmly established itself as a financial centre within the EU. Substantial private wealth planning for individuals and also efficient corporate structures we're seeing a lot of now within Cyprus. Cyprus operates as a bridge across the old east and west divide, being now well regulated, solid infrastructure within Cyprus, lowest tax rate in the EU, and also I mentioned its geographical position.
Sophisticated professional services also include ship management. Cyprus is a highly reputable international shipping centre, ranking among the 10 leading maritime nations of the world, with a merchant fleet exceeding 43 million gross tonnage and over 2,170 vessels.
Over the last 40 years, Cyprus has developed into a leading ship management centre in Europe and worldwide.
An educated and well-trained talent pool is available to businesses seeking to produce and sell services and products with high value-added content in knowledge and expertise. Cyprus is inviting indeed, from its talented people to its treasured culture. Combining a rewarding standard of living in tune with nature and Cypriot hospitality, Cyprus is a dynamic place to live. More importantly, Cyprus is a dynamic place to invest, offering clusters of advantages in a wide range of promising investment sectors. Cyprus. Invest with confidence.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed it a bit. It sets a picture to follow. Okay, the presentation will be basically initially about the general advantages that Cyprus has for foreign investors, and then we will go specifically into two sectors, which is the financial services and the fund management, and we will continue with the major projects which are open for investment now in Cyprus. These are the real estate major, let's say, development projects, and if you have any interest in those, we can discuss later. So, the official name is the Republic of Cyprus. The capital is Nicosia, and the area is 9,251 square kilometers. The population is about 850,000, and the official languages are Greek and Turkish. English, however, is widely spoken. The real GDP growth for 2010 was about 1%, and the GDP per inhabitant was 21,200 euro for 2009. The inflation rate was 2.6 for 2010. Unemployment rate 5.3 2009. The currency of the country is the euro, and the life expectancy is 79 years. The form of the state is presidential republic. Okay, the strategic location of Cyprus at the crossroads of Africa, Middle East and Europe firmly establishes Cyprus as Europe's Middle Eastern outpost. Cyprus is ideal for inward FDI and provides a gateway to both EU and non-EU countries. Its strategic location, the 2 brand new international airports, the modern road network, and the multi-purpose port facilities are key factors for the international companies to consider seriously and choose to do business through Cyprus. Cyprus provides direct access to the EU marketplace with a population of nearly 500 million people and very high per capita incomes. The Middle East and North African region, the so-called MENA region, including the Gulf area with a population of nearly 500 million people, can be easily accessed through Cyprus. And also the European Union market can be easily accessed for the Middle East. In recent years, and especially since the reform of the taxation system and the accession of the Republic to the European Union, we have seen a tremendous increase in new companies coming to Cyprus. The number of registrations has increased 6 times, and the reputation of Cyprus has improved significantly and now competes with the most reputable financial centers in Europe with great success. In the last few years, we are witnessing more and more multinationals from all over the world setting up their operations in Cyprus. Cyprus ranks among the countries with the lowest corporate tax in Europe, and taxation, as you very well know, plays a very important role in the decision of a business as to where to station its activities. The taxation system in Cyprus is simple and offers advantages that cannot be found anywhere else in the European Union. The above, in association with the 45 very beneficial double tax treaties, have risen Cyprus to the top positions as an investor in Russia, Ukraine, and other countries in the region. Cyprus has low setup costs. If we look at the telecommunication costs, are among the lowest in the European Union. If we take the labor costs, we are significantly lower in Cyprus when compared to the EU average. The cost of living in Cyprus was ranked as one of the least expensive when considering the city cost globally, and the occupancy cost, that is the office space and living accommodation, is relatively inexpensive with considerable choice. If we go to the skilled labor force, you can see that 7% of the GDP public spending is on education. We have a very highly qualified workforce and multilingual, and it's above the EU average. Other considerations that we can look into is the active stock exchange, the robust Securities and Exchange Commission, the modern and comprehensive insurance cover, the confidentiality with the legal support, and the well-represented accounting profession. Important membership for Cyprus is the Eurozone, access to the pan-European market and EU funding, the full applicability of EU tax and corporate directives, the customs union, and the common VAT system. Here I would like to just remind you that EU basically will have the second part of 2012 presidency. Cyprus will have the presidency, which is a major issue and very important for Cyprus. Other economic memberships were important. It's the World Trade Organization membership, the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, the World Bank, the International Development Agency, the International Monetary Fund, and the International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. Cyprus is characterized with more than 30 years of experience as an international business center, and Cyprus is an ideal business center for investments both within Europe and non-EU countries has been classified by the IMF to be among the world's 34 most advanced economies. Cyprus is ideal for holding companies, finance companies, IP holding companies, regional headquarters, shipping companies, investment funds, family office, trust arrangements, and financial services companies. Also an important sector for Cyprus is the shipping sector. Cyprus ranks among the third top maritime nation in the EU 27 and is backed by thousands of years of seafaring skills, developing into an international shipping center for maritime activities. It has 2 deep sea ports with easy access to the Suez Canal, and other major freight routes, and a favorable tax regime for ship owning and ship management. The new legislation enacted last year in Cyprus gives a new impetus to Cyprus as a leading shipping center in Europe. If we go to the banking and financial services, starting with the FDI, which will explain why the banking and financial services is an important sector of the economy. You can look and see that in 2009 the FDI inflows in Cyprus were 4.2 billion. In 2008 were 2.8, and in 2007 were 1.6. It's quite important to notice that 2008 there was increase from 2009 from 2008, which shows that Cyprus has been affected less by the global financial crisis. The most important FDI sectors are the financial intermediation services, which account for 58.1%, the trade and repairs, which they are accounting for about 23.7%, and the real estate and business activities, which account for 648.3 million, which is 15.7%. Now, going to the banking and financial services sector, Cyprus has a very strong platform, and it's quite developing into a dynamic financial services and banking center. And we can see the subsector for the creation of funds with easy and flexible private fund setup, while we are working on the usage for and the AIFMD directives of the European Union. We also have a very well-established private banking and investment services, wealth management, and also a very dynamic retail, corporate, and investment banking sector, covering mergers and acquisitions, large capital, investment, and infrastructural projects. And it's also developing into a hub for factoring, hire purchase, and leasing. Why Cyprus is important for investments regarding the funds? We have a very flexible usage for an AIFMD regulation, which is harmonized with the EU. We can accommodate the IFMs and the AIFs as per the new EU directives, and we also can do re-domiciliation of funds. The financial services sector has been reformed and is in line with the international best practice. We also have a simplified, effective, and transparent tax system in place, which is fully EU, OECD, and FATF compliant. Okay, regarding the anti-money laundering provisions, we do have in place the appropriate legislation, and we apply all the requirements with respect to anti-money laundering directives. The Central Bank of Cyprus supervises persons engaged in banking activities and money transfer businesses. The FATF, which is the Financial Action Task Force, recognized that the anti-money laundering system of Cyprus is in line with the international standards and excluded Cyprus from the published list of the non-cooperative countries and territories. The anti-money laundering measures are in full compliance with the Moneyval Committee of the Council of Europe and the Financial Action Task Force. So we covered a bit why Cyprus is important for financial services and banking and investments that are rooted through Cyprus because of that. And also we saw why Cyprus is important for shipping and a very efficient shipping center. Now we are going to present some projects which are open for investments in Cyprus. These are large projects, major projects, and they are open to foreign investors. There are 14 projects, and you can see that we have projects which are above 100 million and projects which are below the 100 million. The 10 projects, they are above, and 4 projects are below. I think we received a listing of these projects, and it's on your desk. If you haven't received it, you can contact me or my colleague, Ms. Anidor, after the presentation, and we will provide you with one. So, if you go to the first